Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to I'm Organic Gardening. Now today we're going to go over how to test our potatoes ahead of time to see if they sprout, because we have about 3 weeks before we need to plant them outside. And it is very concerning right now that we get a good harvest this year. A lot of people are panicking and I see that already. The reason why is because I didn't personally order potatoes this year from my seed company because I just got too busy doing something else, and I figured there got to be a couple varieties. Every single variety is sold out already from Johnny Seeds, and that's where I get them from. And I'm trying other places, and I said, you know what? Let's test them this year, and let's see if we can find our regular store-bought potatoes and test them early now, because we have about 3 weeks before we need to plant them outside if they sprout. Now, why are we worried about them sprouting? Because maybe it's a myth, maybe it happened one time or else too, because a lot of people think these potatoes are sprayed. Now we don't know. We can't test them some way at home except by growing them, and that's what I'm going to get into. Now, what we see about the spraying is that they kind of keep them dormant, or they don't allow them to form something like this. Now this is not a red potato, but we don't get growth on it. Now this particular potato we're getting growth, but not all over the potato, only one spot. So I want to see if these are able to sprout in several places and see how healthy they are. So just doing a simple little test will let me know, and I will know ahead of time before planting them outside, then growing them possibly for a couple of weeks, and then see nothing come up. So I want to do this early, and so I can catch, if there's a problem, I can catch it ahead of time and maybe do something else. So let's do a couple procedures. There's 2 procedures that I want to show you today about easily detecting ahead of time if your potatoes are okay to sprout and plant them in the garden later on. This is not a video how to plant potatoes. This is a video strictly about sprouting them and see if they are viable before we put them in the garden, before we plant them. Oh, and before I forget, why am I sitting here at my kitchen table? Because it got down to 19 degrees Fahrenheit and that garden soil is hard as a rock. I haven't planted anything yet outside. I'm going to start planting a couple things in the basement underneath grow lights, and I'll show you that in the next couple of videos. But that's my situation right now. I haven't been able to get outside to film properly, and also too is probably the winds are going about 30 miles an hour right now. So here's 2 simple, very simple procedures that we can do ahead of time to test our potatoes. So the first thing we can do to test them is that we can take you can take a pot or anything else too and put some potting soil in there. And here we have our jar, and we're just going to take our potato, bury it nicely like so, and we're going to add a little bit more. There you go. We're just going to bury it inside there, add a little bit of moisture, a little bit of water, and then put it in a cool, dark place. We want it about, let's say, 60 to 70 degrees, so then we can see ahead of time that it's viable and we can get and plant the rest of those potatoes in our garden. Next example is take a Ziploc bag, add a tablespoon of water to it, and just put our potato in there like so, and then seal it up. And again, put it in a cool, dark spot. Now, I did say seal it up, but what we should do is leave a little, about an inch opening at the very end to let some air movement in and out of the bag for our potato. And then see if it sprouts, and then you're all set to go. Remember, both the bag and the jar, you should keep in a cool, dark place, again around 60 to 70 degrees, and then you'll see how perfect your potatoes are. How simple is that? One, we can bury it, and the other, we can just kind of grow it with a little bit of moisture ahead of time and place them both in a cool, dark spot, 60 to 70 degrees like I mentioned before, and we're all set. But this way you know what's going on before you need to plant them outside. And it's a great way right now to test them, see what's going on ahead of time, and you'll find that it's to your advantage to try this. It's not a waste of a potato by any means, because it would be a waste of more time if you took them and put them outside, planted them, and All of a sudden a month goes by and you're like, where's my potatoes? Come on. And especially this year, again, it's good to have those extra things in your garden of confidence and see what's going on. I want to thank you very much for watching today's video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I'll see you again shortly with another video. And again, we're going to go over a lot of details this year to see how we can manage our garden properly and get nutrient-dense vegetables. I thank you for your time and happy gardening.